NVIDIA just dropped their latest quarterly earnings, and honestly, the numbers are just mind-blowing. They tell this incredible story about what's happening at the very heart of the AI boom. So let's just dive right in with the single biggest number that has everyone talking. Okay, boom, here it is. For their second quarter, NVIDIA pulled in a total revenue of $46.7 billion. Just let that sink in for a second. It's a staggering amount of money for just 3 months. But what makes it truly wild is the growth that it represents. And this chart right here really paints the picture. I mean, revenue is up 6% from a last quarter that was already a record breaker. But check out the year-over-year number. That $46.7 billion, that is a 56% leap from the same time last year. So what on earth is driving this kind of acceleration?
Well, the answer really comes down to one word: Blackwell. And listen, this isn't just some new chip. No, it's an entire AI platform, and it is absolutely the main character in this whole story. The demand for Blackwell is the rocket fuel behind these numbers.
You know, don't just take my word for it. NVIDIA's own CEO, Jensen Huang, said it perfectly. He called Blackwell the platform the world has been waiting for and put it at the dead center of the global AI race. And let me tell you, the financial breakdown shows he is not exaggerating one bit. So this is where that big vision connects directly to the money. Look at this. The data center segment, that's where all the AI stuff lives, brought in $41.1 billion all by itself. That makes up a whopping 88% of the company's entire revenue for the quarter. It's almost everything. And if we zoom in even closer, you can see the immediate impact. Even inside that gigantic data center number, the revenue coming just from the new Blackwell products grew 17% from the last quarter. This shows you just how insanely fast companies are adopting this new tech. They're not waiting around. But the story doesn't stop with the data center. Not at all. Because while AI is clearly the main event, the rest of NVIDIA's business is also firing on all cylinders. They're showing some incredible strength pretty much across the board. And this breakdown really says it all. Gaming, the company's foundation, still an absolute powerhouse, growing an impressive 49% from last year. Pro visualization is up a very strong 32%, and get this, automotive surged an incredible 69%. Why? Because car makers are increasingly building their smart cars on NVIDIA's platforms. So, okay, record revenue is one thing, right? But you might be wondering, is the company actually profitable? And how does all this success actually translate into value if you're an investor? Let's take a look at the financial health behind all these headlines. Before I throw another big number at you, let's just quickly break down a key term here: gross margin. In the simplest terms, it's the piece of every dollar in sales that a company gets to keep after paying for the direct costs of making its stuff. A higher number is always better. It means you're a super profitable, super efficient company. And NVIDIA's number is, well, it's just off the charts. Their non-GAAP gross margin hit 72.7%. That puts them in a really elite group of profitable tech companies. It just shows they are an incredibly efficient operation, turning those massive sales into equally massive profits. Profits that they are putting to work for investors. You see, all that profitability allows NVIDIA to return huge amounts of cash directly to its shareholders. In just the first half of this year alone, they've already returned $24.3 billion through things like share buybacks and dividends. And they are not hitting the brakes. The board just signaled how confident they are by authorizing another $60 billion for share repurchases. That is a massive commitment, and it just screams that they believe this growth is going to continue. So, all of this leads to the obvious question, right? After a quarter this huge, after growth this explosive, can it possibly keep going? Let's see what the company itself is forecasting for what's coming around the bend. This is really the central question that's on everybody's mind. I mean, after a run like this, you have to wonder, is this the peak? Or is this somehow just the beginning of an even steeper climb? Well, NVIDIA gave us their own answer. Their revenue outlook for the next quarter is $54 billion. Let me repeat that, $54 billion. So that's not a slowdown. That's an acceleration. The company is telling us that this incredible momentum is actually still building. Which brings us to our final thought.
As the entire world is racing to build out its AI infrastructure, and as the demand for platforms like Blackwell seems practically bottomless, you have to ask a bigger question. Is NVIDIA moving beyond just being a chip company and becoming something way more fundamental? Is it becoming the central utility, like the power company, for the entire global AI economy? That's definitely something to think about.